8 things firms do that distinguish them in SCM.
Firms that aspire to improve their performance through SCM will need to actively focus on these 8 initiatives. 1. Manage customer behaviors. 2. Manage product, service offerings. 3. Manage demand, not just the forecast. 4. Manage supply chain flows. 5. Replace assets with information and relationships. 6. Outsource non-core activities, buy versus make. 7. Revamp planning and control systems, and 8. Align recognition and reward systems. Customers are not all equal. While most firms know who their biggest customers are, they often don't know which customers generate the most profit. They also don't know which ones are unprofitable. Consequently, they can manage customer relationships poorly. The list of active customers should be evaluated annually and segmented based on criteria that differentiate their value to the firm. The segment of highest value customers should receive the best service. For example, their order lead times could be shorter, their targeted fill rates could be higher, and their deliveries could be made faster than other customer segments. Unfortunately, traditional accounting systems, which rely on period or product costing and cost center allocations, do not provide specific cost information to make evaluations on customer profitability. Activity-based costing, ABC, is needed to be able to associate the cost to serve with the value of service given each customer. ABC involves looking at customer behaviors and the costs associated with serving them. By influencing the customer on what, how much, when, and how they order products and services, the firm can turn unprofitable or marginal customers into profitable ones. Products and service offerings are not all equal. Just as with customers, the cost to produce and the cost to provide should be evaluated annually using ABC. Most companies will find that a small percentage of its offerings contribute a large share of its profits. Which offerings are unprofitable? Eliminating those or changing the way they are provided to customers to make them profitable will increase overall profitability. As product life cycles and consumer adoption rates dictate, strategy changes from build, to hold, to harvest, and to divest, it is important to constantly manage the portfolio of offerings. Most companies learn that by doing less they can earn more, and free up resources to apply to new and more profitable revenue generators. Forecasting is necessary for most firms, especially those reproducing the independent demand item, or finished good, before orders are received. But forecasting is inexact, and it requires a large investment in buffer inventories. Some firms invest heavily in the forecasting process and the measurement of forecast error, which compares actual demand to forecasted demand. Estimating customer demand to make operating decisions that attempt to balance supply and demand rarely results in zero stockouts and zero safety stocks. However, firms use 4 methods to attempt to balance supply and demand: 1. Change lead times, 2. Increase or reduce pricing, 3. Build inventory levels, and 4. Create production flexibility. If customer demand exceeds current supply, the firm might be able to increase the lead time on that item. The customer can decide to wait, to substitute for something in stock, or search elsewhere. If customer demand is significantly less than current inventory levels for that item, the firm can announce a temporary price reduction, moving future demand forward. It could also announce a temporary price increase, postponing current demand. Building inventory levels, including safety stock, to smooth the effects of both demand and lead time variability, is a traditional, but expensive method to manage demand and supply imbalances, given production capacity constraints. Finally, production flexibility, a principle of lean manufacturing, is seen as a solution to demand and supply imbalances. These 4 methods of managing demand can be used in combination, depending on the level of the firm's interest in utilization of production capacities, safety stock costs, the cost of stockouts, and customer goodwill and loyalty. Managing actual demand is always more important than managing the forecast. There are numerous flows in the supply chain. These include flows of products, services, cash, and information. Products flow from suppliers through manufacturers, through distributors, through retailers, to final consumers. The flows are triggered by an order from the customer, demand, and flow upstream, or by a previous forecast and flow downstream. These flow in cycles. A retailer will collect product sales information at the point of sale, or use a reorder point inventory management system to create orders to send to the distributor. This takes time. The transmission time is very fast if it is electronic, but the time between orders can be days or weeks. The distributor then reviews the orders received, approves them, and assigns them to a shipping location, where the orders are picked, packed, and scheduled to be shipped. This could take hours or days. When the carrier arrives, the order is loaded and transported to the retailer, who receives it into inventory stock or into its retail space. This also takes hours or days. Then the process repeats itself between the distributor and manufacturer, and then again between the manufacturer and its suppliers. When the elapsed times from order to receipt up the tiers of the supply chain are totaled, the overall cycle time is weeks or months. This creates significant, perhaps unnecessary, investments in inventories to cover the lead times and lead time variability, and also results in out-of-stock and lost sales opportunities. The entire supply chain flow cycles should be mapped. Process mapping and process re-engineering are important tools to reduce cycle times. Sharing information across the supply chain, especially about point of sale, inventory levels, and production schedules, can aid in compressing cycle times significantly, reducing overall cost, and increasing sales and profits.